They never saw the lock coming. My drill whirred against the pine doorframe while my phone exploded on the counter. 27 missed calls, a string of texts that lit the screen like fireworks. The preview alone made my stomach drop. We're 10 minutes out. Reserved your whole beach house for the reunion, surprise. 38 of us this year. My name is Sage Marlowe, and for 34 years I've been the family's emergency contact, the spare key under the mat, the one who says yes so nobody else has to feel uncomfortable saying no. My big sister, Harper, is the golden child. Olympic trials, TED Talks, magazine covers. My little brother, Finn, is the baby who can do no wrong. Every reckless choice gets applauded as free spirit. I'm the hinge in the middle. Invisible, reliable, already paid for. I bought the Cedar Beach house on Whalers Cove 2 years ago with money I scraped together from double shifts at the clinic, and every overtime hour I never mentioned. I never told them. I wanted one thing that was undeniably mine. No guest lists, no since you have the space. No waking to Harper's kids jumping on my bed while she slept in. I painted the walls sea glass green, hung hammocks between the pines, and learned what silence actually sounds like when it isn't waiting to be interrupted. The voicemail was my mother's bright, breathless victory voice. Sagey, we saw the photos online, gorgeous. We went ahead and blocked the whole 4th of July week. Rented 3 pontoons, booked the caterer, even got matching shirts made. You're finally hosting. My father's laugh in the background. Plenty of beds, kiddo. You won't even notice us. I noticed. I hung up, drove north through the night, and met the locksmith at dawn. He installed 5 new deadbolts and a keypad gate across the private drive. I chose the code myself. 0321. The day I was born and apparently forgot I mattered. 2 keys. No copies. I spent the next 48 hours erasing welcome. I unplugged the outdoor speakers, rolled up the spare mattresses, hid the life jackets. I wiped every surface until the house smelled only of lemon and salt. No trace of make yourself at home. Then I waited on the widow's walk, coffee cooling in my hands, watching the armada arrive. SUVs poured down the narrow road like ants to sugar. Coolers, cornhole boards, a karaoke machine the size of a refrigerator. Harper stepped out first in designer sunglasses, already directing traffic. Finn carried a toddler on his shoulders and waved like this was his victory lap. Mom marched up the front steps with a casserole, and the spare key she'd had made from the realtor photos, because of course she did. The key didn't work. She rattled the handle, laughed it off, then knocked with growing panic. Sage? Honey, open up. Everyone's dying to see the place. I opened the door exactly 6 inches. Mom. Her smile faltered. The lock's broken? No. It's working perfectly. Behind her, the family fanned out across my lawn, claiming Adirondack chairs that weren't theirs, staking coolers in my flower beds. A cousin's kid ran straight for the dock, shrieking about cannonballs. Harper tried charm. Sage, come on. We drove 6 hours. Finn tried guilt. You've got, 7 bedrooms? Don't be selfish. Dad tried scripture. Honor your father and mother, Sage. I looked at each of them in turn, letting the quiet stretch until it hurt. Then I said the sentence I'd rehearsed in my head for 2 decades. I wasn't asked. The words landed harder than any shout. Mom's face crumpled. Harper's mouth opened, closed. Finn actually took a step back. For one crystalline second, nobody spoke. Then the spell broke. Phones came out, voices rose. Someone suggested calling the police for a wellness check. I shut the door. The new deadbolt slid home with a sound like a judge's gavel. Through the sidelight, I watched the sheriff arrive 20 minutes later. I handed him the deed, the tax records, the photo of me holding the keys on closing day. He read my name aloud, Sage Marlowe, sole owner, and turned to the crowd. She says no. That's the end of it. They stayed until midnight, headlights cutting through the dark, music thumping from portable speakers, a pathetic attempt at a party on the public beach 200 yards away. I sat on my dark porch wrapped in a quilt, listening to the tide take their noise and swallow it whole. By morning the cars were gone. Tire tracks and crushed beer cans were the only evidence they'd ever been here. I brewed coffee, walked barefoot to the water's edge, and let the cold Atlantic shock the last tremor out of my chest. The house stayed quiet. The hammock swayed empty. The silence wasn't lonely. It was enormous, room-sized mine. My phone finally buzzed once. A single text from Mom. "We need to talk when you're ready." I turned it face down and smiled at the horizon. I wasn't ready. I was finished. And for the first time in my life, the door stayed locked until I decided otherwise.